Hello students, let us learn LCR circuits. L means inductor, C means capacitor, R means resistor. So the point comes here is once you have a resistor and send alternating current through it, this is not the sign of battery, it is a sign of alternating EMF which varies sinusoidally. E0 is the maximum value, E is the instantaneous value. As the coil rotates, turbine rotates the coil between the magnetic field, alternating current is being produced. That you study in alternating current. Now we are extending that to the LCR circuits. What happens if the same alternating current passes through a capacitor? What happens if the same alternating current passes through an inductor? So, in a before going into anything, we will write the Kirchhoff's law. Starting from this point, you can start even from this point. There is a potential rise and there is a potential drop. This gadget supplies the energy and this consumes the energy. So, rise is E, drop is IR. V is equal to IR formula we use. Here V is equal to Q by C. Here V is equal to L di by dt. So, there is a rise E minus IR. So from this E is equal to IR, but E is equal to E0 sin omega t by R. Bring this R down. So you got I. So first we have to represent everything in a diagrammatic format. Pure resistance, pure capacitor, pure inductor, without having capacitor in this, without having inductor in this, without having other things in this. Similarly, there is a potential rise E and drop Q by C. That's again the equation. So we are talking about first point is diagram, second point is equation. So bring this the other side. E is equal to Q by C. We want say Q. Cross multiply this one. E0 sin omega t times of C. Now here there is a potential rise E minus there is a drop L di by dt, where L is the inductance of the inductor, di by dt is rate of change of current in the inductor. Because the alternating current di by dt exists. In case of direct current, di by dt don't exist. So take this to the other side, bring the L down, dt up, and di you get it the other side. So here we got directly the I, here we got Q, here we got di. This is to be differentiated to get I, this is to be integrated to get I, this directly we get I. So E0 by R, we call it as I0. EMF by resistance, we call it as I, current here. So we took E is equal to E0 sin omega t, we got I is equal to I0 sin omega t. Here, we took E is equal to E0 sin omega t. To get I, we have to differentiate this Q. So, I is equal to dq by dt. When I differentiate the sine function, keeping the other two things constant, we get sine becomes cos omega t. Internal differentiation adds up one more omega in the front of the value. So, omega c E0. But here you see E0 by resistance is in the denominator, but something here it is in the numerator. So bring this down and call it as XC. Here we call opposition to the flow of current, we call it as resistance. Here opposition to the flow of current we call capacitive reactance. Similarly, if I integrate di, integration of sin omega t will give you minus cos omega t, and this omega comes in the denominator. So here you got again like this. E0 by R, we have E0 by XL, where omega L product is called XL, which is called inductive reactance. This is called capacitive reactance, this is called inductive reactance. Basically, resistance is opposition to flow of current, capacitive reactance is opposition to the flow of current, inductive reactance is also opposition to the flow of current. But when you convert cos into sine back into sine format, we get here plus 90, here we get minus 90. We say that current and EMF, when you see, current leads by 90 degrees, current and EMF you see minus 90, current lags by 90 degrees. In this way we pronounce. So current in the capacitor leads, current in the inductor lags, whereas current in the resistor will be in same phase with the EMF. Here also you see sin omega t, but here sin omega t and sin omega t plus 90. Here sin omega t minus 90, because minus cos omega t is like that. But this should be by hearted. Plus 90 and minus 90. In case of capacitor, current should be always leading by plus 90. In case of inductor, current should be always lagging the EMF by minus 90. So now the opposition in case of resistive circuits is the resistance itself, and this R is independent of frequency of alternating current. Whereas capacitive reactance, which we took omega c into denominator, depends on omega, where omega is 2 pi n angular frequency, and n is 50 Hz in India and 60 Hz in America. So this Xc, which we are calling it as capacitive reactance or opposition offered by capacitor to alternating current, depends on frequency of AC. More the frequency, less is the reactance. Less the frequency, more is the reactance. They are inversely related. Coming to inductive reactance, XL is equal to omega L. Here omega and X, they are inversely related. Here they are directly related. As frequency increases, angular frequency increases, inductive reactance increases. So, next is, whatever we have learnt it, we'll try to remember in a very crispy manner by writing like this. Leads and lags. E is equal to E naught sin omega t we took for all of them, but we got I is equal to I naught sin omega t from this equation. Here we got I is equal to I naught sin omega t plus 90 from this equation. Here you also I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus 90. So we say here resistance in current, current in resistor is in phase with EMF in the resistor. Current in the capacitor leads EMF in capacitor by 90 degrees. Ulta also you can say EMF in capacitor lags current in capacitor by 90 degrees. Similarly, current in inductor lags EMF in inductor by 90 degrees. Ulta we can write EMF in inductor leads current in inductor by 90 degrees. Remember any one of them, others you can just follow it. Now whatever the equation is there, if you try to plot it as a graph. So basically we draw the first graph of an EMF, sinusoidal variation of EMF. Now because alternating current is in phase, it also starts from the same, only thing is amplitudes are different. It follows the same rule. Whereas here this has to start before, because plus 90 is there, it has to lead. So current starts before. So this graph equation is given by I naught sin omega t plus 90, and whereas this one lags. So if this has started later on, it will start. So somewhere here it starts like this. So it is been shown like that. So this graph represents lagging. So next is the same thing what we are represented in graph, you can represent with rotors, or we can call it as phasors. So phasor is a welded kind of thing where it rotates with same angular velocity always and maintains that rule of 90 degrees whatever leading and lagging. So EMF current will be in phase in case of the rotor welded by these two will rotate with constant angular velocity omega, and this angle is being maintained 0 degrees between them. Next, EMF in capacitor, current in capacitor are welded at 90 degrees angle, and this rotates in a mutually perpendicular way like this and like this. When it rotates, this 90 degrees is being maintained always, and at any instant the maximum value is this and the instantaneous value is the component on the imaginary axis. We don't use the word vectors here because they are not vectors, they are phasor. We are talking about numbers. So the number which we draw on the x-axis we call real number, and the number which we write on the y-axis we call it as imaginary number. So the value of EMF at every instant is one number, and the maximum number component on the imaginary axis will give you the instantaneous value. Similarly, VL EMF in the inductor and current in the inductor can be drawn like this, maintaining 90 degrees between them. So we have welded this kind of two things, and when they rotate it, they maintain that 90 degrees angle between them. In a more simplest case, we can just write I naught, E naught parallel to each other. Here E naught we write it, I naught we write it before because it should lead. So whenever EMF comes anti-clockwise 90 degrees you have to turn for getting I naught. Whenever in case of capacitor, whenever EMF comes, you have to rotate clockwise 90 degrees. Current. See here, here current leads. Here also current leads. Here current lags. Here also current lags. You can say in a ulta way, I told you in 2 words. Current leads EMF, EMF lags current. Kind of words we can use it. Now, What kind of equations we can finally establish by knowing the initial equations? Suppose they are given I is equal to I naught sin omega t instead of giving E is equal to E naught sin omega t. Then because current will be in phase with EMF, just you write the same thing but sin omega t. Those should be in same phase. Here current is given, EMF lags, current leads. So lagging is shown with minus 90. Here current is given, EMF in this current leads, current lags, EMF leads. So plus 90. Instead of giving current, they give EMF. So EMF is E naught sin omega t plus alpha. Instead of starting from 0 degrees, some extra angle it started with. Then I is equal to I naught sin omega t. The phase value, the bracket, inside the bracket value should be same for both, because current and EMF will be in phase in a resistor. But if you see here the bracket value of E naught, and if you take I naught should lead in capacitor. I should lead. So I leads, therefore extra plus 90. Similarly, in case of inductor, EMF, whatever bracket term is been given, that is the phase of that. And that phase of EMF should lag. So current lags the EMF. This kind of things you have to, these 10 points, once again I refresh it, all of them. First is the diagram, related equation, getting I from the equation and setting the terms. Here denominator is resistance, here denominator is capacitive reactance, here denominator is inductive reactance, that kind of things. And we define the opposition and name them as resistance, inductive reactance, capacitive reactance, and their dependence on alternating current frequency. R is independent of frequency, capacitive reactance and inductive reactance are dependent on angular frequency. As frequency increases, capacitive reactance decreases. As frequency increases, inductive reactance increases, because here they are directly proportional, here they are inversely proportional. Next is leading, lagging. EMF and current are in phase. EMF lags, current leads. Here current lags, EMF leads. Show with the graph. Show with the phasors. Remember in a simple phasor terminology how the angles between to be maintained. If current is given, getting into EMF. If EMF is given, getting into current. These things are primary things in alternating circuits. Now we are extending the lecture further. For this, you have to learn Euler's maths of handling phasors. According to Euler maths, the amplitude of I or E is written as R1, exponential term, imaginary terms of the phase. Similarly, the second one, if they are in product form, directly multiply R1, R2, and the exponential terms are to be added. Amplitude should be multiplied, exponential terms should be added. Similarly, if they are in division form, say R1 e to the power of I theta, R2 e to the power of I theta 2. Directly divide them and these phase angles should be subtracted. In multiplication, multiply and add. In division, divide and subtract. So even this can be written in a much more simple way. Amplitude, let us take it as A, and the phase you take angle theta. Amplitude of second one you take B and angle theta. So this is say current, this is say EMF, or this is say EMF, this is say current. So both are phase dependent in case of alternating currents. So same logic we can apply here. So now let us remember some blind things. Resistance angle 90, because resistance angle 0, phase of phase of current and EMF is 0 in resistor. That is what the meaning of it. Inductive reactance omega angle 90 means current and EMF will be having plus 90 relation between them. In capacitor, 1 by omega C, which is called capacitive reactance, angle minus 90. That means we take in series LCR circuits current as the base, because in series current is constant. So we take same axis for current in all of them, same direction. In case of resistor, they should be parallel. In case of inductor, current should lag. In case of capacitor, current should lead like this. Now EMF of the alternating source is given by E naught sin omega t plus alpha. Now let us take LCR parallel circuit. Here in all of them EMF is constant, so EMF arrow we take as a base arrow, and current in capacitor leads, current in resistor will be in phase, current in inductor lags, that we have written. So here we have taken current as a base because current is constant in series. Here we have taken EMF as a base because EMF is constant in, potential difference is constant in parallel circuits. We have written in phase, out phase, leading, lagging kind of things. Now here we construct a EMF triangle. So here current I have taken as a base, so this one is VR as it is, VL and VC quite opposite, so VL minus VC we write it here, net EMF we get it, and net phase we get it here, phase angle. Similarly we take current voltage as a base in alternating current in LCR circuits in parallel connection, current and inductance we write like this. Here we take capacitor current to be more than inductive current, then we create a current triangle. Here we create a voltage triangle, here we create a current triangle. So this is the phase of the net voltage, this is the phase of the net current. Next step, we find the net voltage from the vector triangle. So V net is equal to VR square and VL minus VC whole square under root. V can be written as IR, VL can be written as IXL, VC can be written as IXC. Take I common, cancel. We get impedance. And this value by this value, that is opposite value by adjacent value. Opposite value is VL minus VC, adjacent value is VR. That if you write it and cancel I, you get phase. So now we have found out the total impedance, the total opposition to the alternating current, and the phase of the result. Similarly, once we construct a current triangle, here we take square of this and square of this and add, take square root, we get the net current. Current can be written as EMF by impedance, current can be written as EMF by resistance in resistor, current in capacitor is EMF by capacitive reactance, current in inductor is EMF by inductive reactance. For convenience sake, 1 by Z impedance we call it as admittance. 1 by resistance we call conductance. 1 by XC capacitive reactance as capacitive susceptance. 1 by XL capacitive inductive reactance reciprocal as inductive susceptance. Same thing will be here. Previously we subtracted reactances divided by resistance. Now we are subtracting susceptances by conductance. This way we obtain phase here, this way we obtain phase here. This way we obtain impedance here, this way we obtain susceptance here. Susceptance is convenient in parallel connection. Inductance, impedance is convenient in series circuit. Sorry, this I call susceptance, this is admittance. Now comes the Euler's math. I is equal to E by Z, net EMF what you have calculated previously, divided by net impedance. Impedance is making an angle phi, that you whatever you calculated that with the the numerical value of XL, XC and R, you get the value of tan phi. Put it here. And EMF whatever is the phase in the beginning they are given it, that you take it here. And you told in the division directly divide Euler's maths, sine of omega t plus alpha, phase angle, this is alpha minus phi. Division lo subtraction. And next, in this case, I is equal to E by Z, same formula, but reciprocal we don't handle it now. E by Y we write it as. So 1 by impedance or reciprocal of impedance we take it as admittance. E angle is E angle alpha, this is the amplitude, this is the phase. Admittance angle now only we found out using the values of SL and SC and G. Y angle phi. When they are in product, directly multiply EY and angle should be added. In that way, current in resistor, instead of EMF by impedance, you write EMF by resistance. Current in capacitor, EMF by capacitive reactance. current in inductor, EMF by capacitive inductive reactance. Here, current in resistor, EMF by resistance. Current in capacitor, EMF by capacitive reactance. Current in inductor, EMF by inductive reactance. One by inductive reactance we call inductive susceptance. One by capacitive reactance we call capacitive susceptance. One by resistance we call inductance. So now we write angles for these two, and when they are in this form we multiply the amplitudes and add the phases. When they are in this form we divide the amplitudes and subtract the phases to get the phase of the net, the other one what we are finding. We know E and R, we are finding I. We know E and R, we are finding I. Like that. This is the way we deal with the LCR circuits.